Hi everyone, Cynthia Marcus here, registered social worker. I thought today I would talk a little bit about temperament. It's kind of come up in conversations recently. Something I'm often thinking about for myself and my family. And really, what I'm talking about when I say temperament is just kind of like our personality, how we are, what makes us the way we are. A lot of it is just how we're born, right? We have our genes in us. Definitely things can be impacted, influenced by our environment and different life circumstances. But there's an innate kind of part of us that just is what it is. It's just who I am. And understanding it can be really valuable, I find. So for example, I have a sensitive temperament. I'm pretty emotionally sensitive, which can have a bad rap, but I've learned to embrace it as much as I can for the good that it has. There's no good or bad temperament. There's pros and cons to everything, right? So being highly sensitive means that I can feel things really deeply, and I think it helps me be a better therapist because I can really empathize and connect, and that's how I'm built. It's just sort of my language. Sometimes I have big emotions that are difficult, like I can't watch a horror movie for sure. Like sad movies will have me bawling sometimes. Even commercials have done it at times. But also I get really excited when I like take my kids to Wonderland and I see that innocence. And so, nothing's good or bad. It's all just how we are and who we are, and harnessing the good in it can be really valuable for us. And understanding that having a certain kind of temperament um, and working with it is going to be more valuable than trying to work against it. Because if I tried to force myself not to be emotional, I'm just suppressing stuff that's going to boil out one way or the other. Um, and it's really important as a parent, too. I think this is valuable for everyone, but it's really important as a parent because our kids come with different temperaments. I have two very different daughters. The older one is much more introverted, much more of like a kind of like a people pleaser, much more calm, cooperative. Some of it's age based, but when she was 3, she was very different from my younger, that's 3, and she's very sensitive. My older daughter, my younger daughter, much less so. Sure, she can be sensitive. She can have big feelings. She can be empathetic, but nowhere near the levels of her sister. Um, Neither one is better or worse than the other. It's just different, and they see the world differently and they interact with it differently, and that's all very normal. That's just human nature. We're all unique, and there's no right or wrong. But it's valuable for me to recognize these things because the same parenting strategies aren't going to work for both my kids the same way. My older daughter, if I get frustrated and scold her, could cry. There are times where she'll whine and cry, even if I'm not particularly, if I just sort of change my tone because I'm frustrated about something small, like, oh, why'd you drop that? Oh, some days it's like, you're mad at me. It's sort of comical, like as an adult, to be like, wow, that's not a big deal. But to her, it's really striking something emotional. And to be able to acknowledge and understand where that's coming from for her, given her temperament, and then respond to it with support and validation and reassurance and kind of teaching her those coping strategies works for her. My youngest, I mean, she's the one that probably needs us to be like firmer to understand that she can't push the boundaries, to understand the limits. And she's very unlikely to get upset when we're upset unless we're very upset. And at that point, we're reacting. So she's justified. But they're just so different. And understanding these differences in ourselves and our kids and our partners, friends, and our family members can be really helpful in just sort of navigating these relationships and just making the most of who we are and harnessing the good. and coping with the challenges. So I hope this was helpful. I encourage you to kind of think about your personality, the personalities of those around you, and see if it can help with any of these interactions. So next time, I